Hey everyone, this is Paul, and I want to walk through some of the results in a new sample part that we have. So we made this putter. This is for our new intern, Ray. He loves to golf, and it's summertime, so we figured a putter would be a good project. So right away, when I open up the report in Toolpath, I'm running this with the sample aluminum inch cut config that's provided in all your accounts. Right away, I can see Toolpath is flagging a couple areas it can't machine, so these pockets. And it's recommending a Kennametal end mill for those, so we can click on that tool and see what it would machine. But I'm curious why it can machine this center flat and not these outer features. So let's have a look at that. I like to use the mouse over tool to get to features quickly. And let's actually look at the tool that, or the feature that Toolpath can machine first. So it's pulling my 3/16 inch end mill. Well, why is it not using that for those other holes? Let's have a look at those. So those are in setup 2. Oh, they're my blind holes, of course. Let's have a look at that. We can get to the feature details page by clicking through the setups as well. And let's look at the roughing tools. So this is our new tool interrogation dialog. We'll see all the compatible Kennametal tools from our recommendations library, as well as all our tools in my sample aluminum tools inch library. And what we'll see if we look at that 3/16 is insufficient length below holder. And then, of course, diameter too large on some of these other end mills. So that's Toolpath telling me that actually it can get the holder in this area for the center hole, but it can't for these holes. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that tool recommendation and regenerate the part. So the part regenerates. We can see that I've accepted my tool recommendation, and Toolpath is actually smart enough to minimize tool changes and say, hey, I can use this tool for all three of these now that I have it. We can check our setups. So setup 1 is going to be this face. I like that. That'll work with my soft jaws. Setup 2 is going to be the bulk of the part. And of course, setup 3 is going to be this hole. We can check our tool list. Oh, and I need to remember to order that recommended tool. So I can actually click on the name of the tool and hit the link to go find it at the Kennametal site right here. We can check our machining strategy and go through all the operations, see all the tools. This is our full CAM program here. And check our estimate. So I can see 146 for one of these. I think we'll make one of these for pretty much everyone. So we'll bump that up to 25. Now let's export this to Fusion and get our CAM program. All right, so we've got our operations in. I can go through these, give everything a quick check. So we're going to rough the part, face finishing, finish this wall, hit that chamfer. Setup 2 is going to be the bulk of this work, so let's have a look at it. So we're going to rough the whole part, finish that top face, finish that wall, hit the floor. That looks good. A little bit of roughing on those radii there. Slot out that pocket, finish the wall. Looks like we do have a little lead issue on that finishing wall, so let's fix that. Guessing our leads are just a little too big there by default. Yeah, let's bring this down to 10,000. That looks better. Finish that floor. Finishing wall. This is giving me a warning. Contour is not machined because of the lead parameters. So I can go right to the geometry page, see what it's trying to machine, and then let's do the same thing. Let's back off our leads there. There we go. Get a nice operation for that now. Finish that floor. A little bit of roughing in here. It's flagging me to regenerate it, but I'm okay with it touching up that radii. Boring out those pockets with our recommended tools so we can see the reach on that. Traditional roughing, this needs a regenerate, so let's hit that. So a trick here to see what feature this is trying to hit is to actually go back to toolpath. So this is up to 15 traditional roughing. Let's go back to our strategy page. Up to, we can scroll down to the list to see 15 traditional roughing. I think this is a bit of a duplicate. We have a 1 second roughing operation there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and ignore that because I feel comfortable finishing that wall, finishing that floor up, and then hitting our chamfers. So this is looking pretty good. I'll check out, setup 3, just a quick bore here. That's all good. So I think I'm ready to get this to the machine.